Hello and welcome back to the Sam Beast YouTube channel and another one in our ITAM shorts, this time with Jeffrey Tefertiller, the ITSM legend and the service management leadership guru, who also has his own podcast and YouTube channel. Links will be in the description. In this episode, Jeffrey talks about how hardware asset management can be the driver to manage all of that technological debt, but he also gives us some of the dark underbelly stories of hardware asset management that he's seen throughout his years in the industry. Well worth a watch and a listen. Some of it's shocking, some of it I've never heard occur until Jeffrey mentioned it, but well worth listening to, and hope you enjoy it and see you on the next one.
Through that. The other one that's really big, so the DCOM is, but I think HAM is like the driver. All right, so all these companies are wanting cost, they're getting cost pressures. I mean, that's like a common thing. But I think technical debt is huge in organizations. Like, and it's through HAM, some SAM, that you realize I'm not really using these. I'm really not. We tried to get rid of this. It's legacy. I have to take this. Because when you remove something for HAM, you also remove all the licensing. But HAM's the one that drives that more than SAM, I think. SAM could, by you saying, hey, we don't use XYZ software anymore. But I think HAM says, I don't think Joe works here anymore. Why does he have provisioning? HAM says, we have this server that we decommissioned that's still sitting there empty. Nothing's on it. What are we doing? And that technical debt multiplies exponentially. And the reason I say that is if it's a cloud instance that you're still tracking somewhat in the HAM SAM type of, you're paying for it. If it's a server in your data center, you're paying for that storage. If it's a laptop that's in the boss's desk because of the employee, you're still paying for that licensing. Microsoft is still saying, give us our Windows and our 365, you are still paying for those. And it's people think technical debt is only code. And I'm saying it's everything that you're not using but still paying for. It's like your house. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you get a huge flat, 5,000 square foot. That may be smaller than what you have, David. But let's say you have a 5,000 square foot flat, and you say, I only want to use 3,000 square feet. That other 2,000 is technical debt because you're paying for it and you're not using it. That's my soapbox.
No, I love that. I think so. A question for you then is, why do you think that when organisations exactly talk about technical debt and their focus for their IT strategy, why do you think HAM, historically hasn't really got a look in? It's always been focused on software because you need one to do the other, but why do you think organizations are always focusing on, right, we need a SAM guy, we need a licensing guy or girl? Why is there never, we need a HAM person?
Because they're always worried about innovation. So like when I put a change, so they each need a seat at the table. Let's say with change management, you're bringing new functionality. You need to understand the SAM license implications, which rarely happens in organizations. Rarely. Because, you bring in, I'm making this up, Power BI and you get rid of Tableau. There's a license issue there. But there's also a HAM component because Tableau may have servers and you may be using Power BI as a SaaS, right? And so there is both of those are have implications where the company's only worried about how quickly can we go to Power BI? How quickly can we do this? They're not worried about the residual effects. And that's kind of the drum I'm trying to beat is those residual effects of technical debt lead to theft. Because somebody says, nobody's missed this thing for 6 months. I can take it. The other theft one I wanted to throw at you, and this was one that I threw by somebody the other day, and they had never heard of this. This is the biggest scam ever for theft. You want to hear it for HAM? Is taking hardware that has unlimited, it has lifetime warranty, okay? Like Cisco routers. They take the broken ones, they steal them, they send back to Cisco, which has a lifetime. Cisco's not making them anymore. They send you the new product, and now you have a new product for your person that you can now sell.
What?
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So
Now.
let's say I use Cisco equipment and one breaks, right? A router breaks, and I replace it. Now I have this broken Cisco, right? Cisco will replace it because it has a lifetime warranty, right?
Yeah.
And so now I can replace it, call it broken on the company, replace it, and then get Cisco to replace it.
Oh, that doesn't
You've never
sit.
heard of that. You've never heard of that theft, huh?
No,
I'm glad to help you.
that's
So a lot of the hardware does that, like on the networking side. I told you I've been in this world a long time.
You've seen the underbelly, you know, the underground ham.
I've been in this world a long time. So when I started back in the mid 90s in this world, everybody only worried about the residual value of those assets. A laptop was $5,000. We use it for 3 years and we get a 500 back out of it. Great salvage value, the salvage value concept. But then over time, as the values go down, right, it's become more strategic because now we have, from a security and finance, we went from dollars to strategic ability to understand what's in our environment. And so during those however many years, right, that's a lot of years, almost 30, I've seen every trick of the trade in terms of that, in terms of theft of people ordering servers with too much memory and hard drive, taking them out. You've never seen that either?
No, I feel so sheltered.
I'm here to wreck your weekend.
Well, I've seen the classic case of people buying an extra iPhone or iPad or laptop or whatever, and it's suddenly going walkies. But I've not seen the memory stuff or from a network's perspective. I've not seen those ones. It's been more on the consumer side of things, the stuff that the users can actually use themselves.
But you would never see it. It's only the server guys that would see it. It's
On
only
the
the
memory.
network, or the network guys would be the only ones to see the network stuff. They have a pile of broken Cisco over in the corner, and one day somebody goes, "What happened to that pile?" And you go, "Oh, I got rid of it." All right. The server stuff, especially when memory was so back in the late 90s, memory was expensive. I mean, like very expensive. And so there are a lot of smart thieves, and they have figured out how to do as much as possible. And I'm just saying that there is a control mechanism for him that is underappreciated.